The courts rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And when they make a mockery of our system, a mockery of our democracy, and a mockery of our law.
I think she's in a violation of her oath of office. She continued here with Dana Bash.
Just heard me ask the secretary about was something that you called on the Biden administration to do, which is just to simply ignore the court ruling. That's a pretty stunning position if you think about it in the abstract.
Why is she so handling her with such baby gloves? I don't get that part right there. That you said something about you want the government to ignore the ruling. What do you mean? And AOC just looked at her like, yeah, I said it. And she said, that's such a, she ain't know how to, she just say, that's just wrong. That's treasonous. You do realize that, right? Especially if you took an oath to this country, that's treasonous. She could have said that, but this is their star. Dana Bash was told, look, handle her with baby gloves. This is one of our people that we're trying to rise and we're trying to get to rise up, can potentially be president in a few years if we handle this properly. So we do not treat her badly, okay? She is a star, okay? Don't question her. Don't make her feel bad. Which is just to simply ignore the court ruling. That's a pretty stunning position if you think about it in the abstract, about the notion of just ignoring a judge's position. She sound like come on, Dana. Dana is one of the OGs of CNN. How is she so afraid to talk to daggone AOC? Y'all gotta understand, man. She is being told to speak to her that way. She is being told to handle her with mittens, with baby gloves. I'm not gonna stop. Abstract anymore. About the notion of just ignoring a judge's position. So my question is, when this case is resolved by the Supreme Court, should the administration follow that decision if that decision ends up banning this abortion drug?
Well, you know, I want to take a step back and dig into the grounds around ignoring this preliminary ruling as well. There is an extraordinary amount of precedent for this. There is a term known as agency non-acquiescence. The courts rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And when they make a mockery of our system, a mockery of our democracy, and a mockery of our law, I'm sorry, when they make a mockery of our democracy, when they make a law that goes against something that you agree with, you call that making a mockery of your democracy. So when they do something, anything that you don't agree with, you say, forget them. No, we're not accepting it. Go back to the drawing board. Whose boss do you think you are? You don't run things. You don't run a damn thing, AOC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? Yeah, you don't run a damn thing, all right? You can't tell them to go back to the drawing board. What they said at first is not good enough for you. No, we're not going to take that. Making a mockery of our democracy. If you don't shut your ass up. The courts rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And when they make a mockery of our system, a mockery of our democracy, and a mockery of our law, as what we just saw happen in this mifepristone ruling, then I believe that the executive branch, and we know that the executive branch has an enforcement discretion, especially in light of a contradicting ruling coming out.
Unbelievable that she could call the judicial branch making a mockery, what did she say, a mockery of democracy. She is a living, walking, breathing mockery. You know what I mean? Put it to death, man. Tell it how it is, bro. Of democracy. Also, the way Dana Bash frames that question, she says it's a pretty stunning position in the abstract of the notion. Have you ever heard anything more perfect from just like a useless CNN anchor? In the abstract of the notion. We don't need the abstract of the notion. You are calling for one branch of government, the executive branch, to not abide by the law that the judicial branch is passing. That's not the abstract of the notion. It's pretty flat out right in front of your face. I believe at this point, AOC, by publicly, as a member of Congress, publicly calling for Congress, and specifically she's calling for the Biden administration, the executive branch. I don't know if AOC knows this. She was confused about a few years ago. We have 3 branches of government. I'll lay them out for you in just a few moments. I don't know if she knows this. Well, she knows. I know she wasn't sure a few years ago how many branches of government there are. But by her as a 3, right? If I'm wrong, I apologize. Executive,
judicial, and legislative, right? Listen, I'm not great at pop quizzes, so whatever, man. But there's another video I want y'all to see in this. Don't hang up yet.
Congressperson in one branch of government calling on another branch of government, the executive branch, to ignore the decisions of the third branch, the judicial branch. I think she's in a violation of her oath of office. I want you to listen. We found it. It's only 32 seconds long. Here is AOC taking her oath of office, being sworn in a couple of years ago, and listen to the words that she is swearing to abide by.
Solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
I do.
That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
I do.
That you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
I do.
And that you will well and faithfully.
She got her toes crossed. She got her toes crossed, or her legs crossed, or her little coochie crossed. She got something crossed because she's not answering honestly. Period. I don't know what's crossed, but there should probably be an investigation on exactly what she got crossed in this video, because she ain't mean it.
Discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Does a woman who is now telling you that she's going to have one branch of government ignore the rulings of another and encourage a third branch of government to go ahead and do that, does she seem like she is protecting her oath of office to defend the Constitution?
Nope, she does not. I'm gonna leave that up to y'all to decide, because y'all are the experts when it comes to this. AOC is something else. And I wanted her to do like, she's young. Come on, y'all, she's young. Y'all think back to yourself when you were young. I don't know how you was. Maybe you are always the way you are right now. Always perfect, always super conservative and fiscally responsible. Always. You wasn't. Don't lie. I'm just hoping that she wakes up at some point. Right now, she considers herself to be woke. She is not, because the real idea of what woke is not what they are. She needs to wake up. One day she will. Hopefully it's not too late by the time she does. I pray they stop playing these games right now, because Dana Bash, I used to look at her as a respectable journalist. You know, when you're on the left, you find some people that you think might be honest, and I always looked at her as potentially that person. And look, man, you're not gonna blame me. Don't be looking at me blaming me. I blame you too. All right, love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.